tell me please, this old world's confusing me. Clouds as mean as you've ever seen. Ain't a bird who knows you're true. Then a little voice inside you whispers, kid, don't sell your dreams so soon. Everywhere you look, everywhere there's a heart, a hand to hold on to. Everywhere.
Good morning, America. I'm Caitlin Golak.
And I'm Julia. Today is May 29th, 2048.
The weather has only increased by 2 degrees this year.
And the rate of the sea level is slowly rising, but higher elevations are still inhabitable.
What a great day to be alive.
Later today, Congress will vote on passing the Animal Welfare Act of 2048, which will outlaw any animal parks not deemed as rehabilitation. If passed, this act would require SeaWorld to close to the public.
Now let's go to Jackie in Washington with word on the federal government. Jack.
Thank you, Caitlin and Julia. Today I'm happy to report that in the last regional elections, there was a 93% voter turnout rate. This is a 10% increase from the regional elections of 2046. In other news, today marks the 20th anniversary of the 29th Amendment, which declared the Electoral College outdated and unconstitutional. Many celebrate the occasion with family barbecues and block parties. However, others still remain cynical, as just 2 weeks ago marked the 22nd anniversary of the 28th Amendment, which completely slashed state power. This amendment granted the elastic clause of the Constitution, Article 1, Section 8, as having complete dominance over state-by-state decisions. Since then, we have seen protests from many right-wingers, and although this fire has died out in recent years, a renewed opposition is predicted to arise once more. Later tonight, we will hear final word on the judicial case of Kerry versus the United States of America, which has been advocated heavily by the United States Department of Animal Rights. For those of you unfamiliar, the case will declare the enclosure of animals for the entertainment of humans as unjust. SeaWorld and institutions such as the Animal Kingdom will be forced to close to the public. This case would have no effect on rehabilitation centers. An hour ago, Madam President released a statement regarding the federal spending. This year is $3.5 trillion will be spent in total, down from an estimated $3.9 trillion. Although this is higher than most would hope, there's no denying that it could be much worse. Now back to Caitlin and Julia.
Thank you, Jackie. Let's hope that somehow the yearly spending can decrease from $3.5 trillion.
I agree. On that note, let's take it to Sam with deficit spending. Sam?
It is well known that since the year 2029, the United States annual deficit has been greater than $2 trillion, completely outpacing the growth of our economy. With this in mind, one wouldn't be unreasonable to think that it is an insurmountable problem. This, however, is not the belief of our federal government, which has recently issued statements regarding government spending in the upcoming year. Budgets for medical, social security, and transportation programs, as well as foreign affairs, remain largely unchanged, while the military will suffer a dramatic reduction in funding after the foundation of the U.S. Department of Electronic Education. Classical education formats have become outdated, allowing for massive budget cuts. Now back to Caitlin and Julia.
Speaking of the education, the U.S. Department of Electronic Education has released an official report regarding the nationwide system failure. Digital students cannot log on or get in contact with administrators.
The USER says the crash occurred at 9:23 a.m. and is ongoing. However, they are confident to get everything up and running within the hour.
We will keep you updated on that as the day progresses.
Perhaps instituting Finland's system might help.
No.
Dalton, what do you think?
Sam, the crash today just highlights the point that the American education system is poor, as opposed to a country like Finland. In Finland, first of all, standardized tests don't exist. Imagine not taking AP exams, AC exams, district exams. People won't be based on something that a random person in a random building in a random city will be giving to students as opposed to the teacher who actually teaches. They make their own tests and they give that to students. That's more effective. Also, in Finland, they're much more motivated to teach because they're more paid. They're paid over $30,000 more than American teachers today. And honestly, that causes for a lot more respect. Teachers need to have more respect. They can change lives. They can change topics, hobbies. They can change the way a person views the world. It's just something they do. It's the magic of teaching. Also, the government makes education policy based on effectiveness. If something does not work, they throw it out. We've had the same system for over 200 years, and sometimes it doesn't work. Students are so much more creative than what a number will give them. Also, in Finland, they have a lot of hands-on technologies. They have a lot of hands-on experiments. And obviously all countries can't use that, but hands-on work is something that all teachers can enforce. And it allows students in their brain to develop more. It makes them smarter. They can retain more information, and they can use that in their real jobs and real-world jobs, because a lot of people are used to a test-taking setting in America. It doesn't make sense. In Finland, they are much better.
Thank you, Dalton. In other news, jorts are making a comeback.
In celebrity updates, Justin Bieber died last night at 54, and Amy Poehler has been
Cryogenically frozen. Now to Danny, with how the economy is looking. Danny?
Thanks, guys. Not like I was a huge fan of JP's anyways. I remember hearing him when I was a kid. May he rest in peace. On other news, fuel stocks plummet as Toyota becomes the last major car manufacturer to switch entirely to electric cars and cease production of gas-powered motors completely. Also, on another topic, since Justin Bieber died yesterday, let's take a look and see how much $5 back in 2016 is worth now. Wow, a whopping $1,338.76. Talk about inflation, huh? Looking back on jobs back then compared to now, there used to be a lot more manual labor jobs, but since we all know roll robots have replaced the cleaning and waste management workers, my advice is to get degrees in more social things, like the majority of jobs now are in social workers and caretakers. This just in, the census has proven to show that the average family income is $145,530.80. Since a typical job is robot maintenance and manufacturing, our new tax law last year takes a turn for what people in the 21st century feared. Socialism, in the earlier 21st century, that is. The federal government now takes 49% of your income to integrate into reform programs from the drug war. Now over to the anchors with some problems going on right now. Thank you. This is Danny.
Thank you, Danny. Great point. Breaking news. Small groups of protesters are demanding less government. No more than 500 are outside the White House.
Extremist religious groups are dissatisfied with the amount of secularism in the country.
Nothing different than every other day this year.
Have a great May 29th, 2048, everyone.
We will see you tomorrow.